Welcome to part 53 and the start of Disc 3 in Final Fantasy VIII. And no, Squall, it is not over. We're at the halfway point. And if you thought Disc 2 was long, oh no. Disc 3 not only picks up where the side quest of Disc 2 leaves off, but also Disc 3 has its own side quests. So yeah, we may be here a while. While the story itself may be short, still, it's not as short as Disc 4, so it's best to do whatever you can, get whatever GFs you're going to get in order for you to prepare for Disc 4, because once we get on to Disc 4, there is no turning back. And in case anybody's wondering what happened, well, Rinoa got her ass possessed. She healed Cypher. Cypher walked away. But this is all after we fought the Sorceress. But yeah, Rinoa ended up getting caught in a line of fire again because she didn't know how to sit her stupid ass down somewhere. And now she's in a coma. She's like the total girlfriend right now. But at this point in time, I'd probably leave her there. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes. Because of the fact that Rinoa is the total girlfriend right now, not was, she is, we won't be able to use Rinoa at all. As a matter of fact, Rinoa will be out of commission until after a certain series of events. So for the time being, if you have any GFs on Rinoa, it would be best to switch them off of Rinoa and put them on any of the party members you're planning on using. Now, the objective for us is to go straight to Sorceress Edea's house to try to find a way to help Rinoa, who has been possessed by the Sorceress. This time she wasn't thrown into a wall like the ragdoll she was. Yeah, seriously, remember those ragdoll physics at the end of Chapter 1? That was hilarious. Then again, that was her fault for trying to put on a pin that nullified magic, but you had to put the pin on the Sorceress by getting close to her. And yeah, she got what she deserved. Anyway, now if I wanted to be proficient with the GFs, I would take the spirit 40% and give it to somebody else who does not have spirit and, well, does not have the spirit junction available, or should I say spirit ability, and be done with it. And I'm also healing everybody because of the fact that I just got through fighting a really tough battle with Cypher. So I already got the team that I'm going to be taking over to Edea's house. So let's go up the elevator to go on ahead and get as close to Edea's house as humanly possible. Now, once we do set off, however, I'm going to have to skip up until we get close enough to Edea's house because of the fact that Edea's house is on an area where we have to use the garden. However, the garden is lagging just as much as the rest of the footage, and I apologize for that. So with that said, I'll see you guys as soon as I put on my teammates. I will see you guys when I reach to Edea's house. So, until then, we are back, and it's still dropping frame rates really fast, and I apologize for that. Anyway, yeah, let's drop this monster faster than the Bullet Club dropped John Cena on Monday night. And that was pretty damn fast. Anyway, just a random encounter, nothing new, nothing fancy. Yes, these monsters show up on Central Island. I think I already gone over this, but if anybody is just now joining this playthrough and want to know about those monsters, well, they're native here. Again, I do apologize for the ridiculous frame rate drop. I tried to do another session, but this is the best it got. Anyway, now that we here at Sorceress Edea's house, now we can go in and pretty much talk to Sorceress Edea to find out what happened as she went from being the nicest woman in the world to being the sorceress that almost destroys Balan Garden and actually destroyed Tropia Garden. But first, let's not forget, Sid's her husband. So therefore, he was in her old house while everything was going down. So, yeah. And we have such a cowardly headmaster to the point where he pretty much left the school because he knew that something dear to him would be destroyed. While I would say that's cowardly, that at the same time is really screwed up that your wife and the students of your school is going toe to toe. And now we have to actually forgive the sorceress. Well, we don't necessarily have to. The cutscene's making us do so. Needless to say, the sorceress doesn't seem like a bad person if she's not possessed. Yeah, I also mentioned that she was possessed by the sorceress, but the thing is, I didn't reveal her name. One thing you will know, however, the two villains of this game, and of course their names will appear in this cutscene. And of course, Edea is afraid that at any moment she may go back to being the sorceress. Oh, newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, we may have to face her. No, wait, actually, we don't have to face her at all. This is the last. No, Chapter 2 was the last time we face her, so don't worry about her. However, Ultimisia, remember that name, folks. That name will haunt you throughout the rest of this game. You'll be hearing that name brought up every chance somebody gets, from this chapter all the way until the final chapter of the game, Disc 4. And it was Ultimisia that was pretty much possessing Sorceress Edea. So, in order to keep Sorceress Edea from killing off anyone else, she possessed, Edea allowed her body to be possessed by Ultimisia and tried to control her. Unfortunately, the control failed and she ended up running Galbadia and doing wicked things to people. So once you get finished talking to her, you'll have to talk to Sorceress Edea again. I mean, you'll have to keep talking to Sorceress Edea until she repeats her dialogue. Once she repeats her dialogue, once she starts repeating her dialogue, that means the dialogue is over, and then you can leave. But again, we don't have to worry about facing Sorceress Edea ever again, because Ultimisia may have somehow claimed another victim. That's because Rinoa's stupid ass was in the wrong place in the wrong time. And I'm not spoiling anything. If you all saw part 52, you would have saw her not only getting possessed, but also healing Cypher, which you cannot do without magic stones, or magic drawn, or whatever the magic is in this game. But another name that should be familiar to anyone who's played this game, Sorceress Edea, and needless to say, fuck that battle. Seriously, spoiler warning, fuck that battle. I know it's a spoiler warning, but yes, you will be seeing that later on, and it is not going to be pretty. So now that we've actually talked to Edea until the dialogue started repeating, it's time for Squall to leave. Of course, I will not get that into my head until I turn around and leave. Alright. Oh, excuse me. Come on. Turn around and leave. There we go. And of course, Squall, he's not having it. He heard everything that he needs to hear. And now the only thing he's worried about is bringing Rinoa back. Which of course hammers in the point that the relationship between Squall and Rinoa is forced. I mean, Rinoa's in a freaking coma right now, and she wouldn't have been in a coma if she'd have shut her ass down. Now all of a sudden, after all the time Squall was trying to avoid her and trying to stay as far away from her as humanly possible, all of a sudden, he shows interest in her. This is the type of relationship that I do not like. I mean, I understand people loving each other just for the sake of loving each other, but in Squall and Rinoa's case, this was forced from as soon as they met in the ballroom. And now all of a sudden Squall's worried about her. You'd think that their love blossomed, but no, it didn't. It didn't even blossom at all. It's more like Squall's caring for her out of pity. And he just punched the wall because he cares for Rinoa out of pity. And he's ignoring everybody because he's punching a wall because he has pity for Rinoa. But the main point is we have to avoid Ultimecia getting her hands on Alone's power. Alone's power has the ability to change the past. The thing is, Ultimecia wants to go back into the past to make sure that she don't lose the Sorceress War and her body in the process, therefore becoming so powerful no one will be able to stop her. That's pretty much the gist of what Alone's role is for Ultimecia. I'm not spoiling the plot, I'm just telling you exactly what Ultimecia may have planned. And the only reason why Elone is doing her best to change time was to not only warn Squall and the others of this fact, but also to try to do their best to make sure it doesn't happen. So now, after Squall was having a temper tantrum with the fact that he may have feelings for Rinoa, he pretty much caught the gist of having to protect Alone from Ultimecia. So now we're going to end up going back to the garden after this. And once we do, even though they are all worried about Rinoa, we're going to go back to the garden, but there is something we need to get before we do go there. And it shows up here in this disc instead of disc 1, where it should have been, which is redundant. So, yeah. Now then, since we're back into the garden, we're gonna have to go to the training room. And after Squall pretty much updated everybody about the ultimate danger that they're gonna be dragged into, it's safe to say that if this doesn't go right, that's a lot of people that's going to die. Well, other than the entirety of the planet. So, right now, Squall is talking about gathering information. So, what Squall will have to do now is again go to the training center. So, once I get out of this cutscene, that's exactly what I will do. Because at the training center is actually something a little bit important that may actually make Squall stronger. provided I have the materials for it. And that actually is a weapons magazine. That's the only reason why we're going into the training area. Otherwise, I would have just went straight on and completely gone to the next segment, which happens to be going by Rinoa's bedside, which of course we won't be doing. Not for a while. Oh, we will be doing in the next part, but not until we finish off business here first. Or other businesses, if you catch my drift. So for right now, we'll have to use this lagging running, and we're gonna have to go straight to the training center, and we are going to have to get a weapons mag. Now notice something strange about this. Now, as soon as I go into this next area, even though no one is there, which is the library, we'll have to go back out, and once you do, you'll see Zell in his Seed's uniform instead of his civilian clothes. Which is weird, and as you can see here, he was just in his civilian clothes before he went into the library, and now he's in his Seed's attire. Now then, we'll have to go to the left way once we enter into the training hall. Training center, sorry. Be careful of any high-powered enemies here. And by high-powered, I mean Rexor. Yeah, we can beat Rexors now, but at this point in time, I don't think it's a wise idea, because Squall is by himself, and yeah, he will get wrecked. So, with that said, I'll just beat up on this thing here and go and get my magazine. And I don't need Squall to gain any more level than what he needs to. Anyway, we've got the magazine. Now let's get the hell out of here. Okay, what is in that magazine? New weapons for Thrall, Selfie, Zell, and I do believe Irvin. No, wait. Squall, Selfie, Zell, and Irvin. Yes, Squall, Selfie, Zell, and Irvin. That's right. Oh! I need 2 red fangs, and I think I got it. I need a couple of screws. I need 4 dynamo stones. I think I have 2 dynamo stones on me right now, and I need some steel pipes. Oh. Well, so much for that weapon. Yeah. I gotta probably catch some cards, and hopefully those weapons get dropped. But nonetheless, let's leave this area right here. And I will be going to my dorm room, and I will see you guys in part 54. Even though we have to go and wake up Rinoa, I got a funny feeling that we're gonna have another leg cramp. So I better get my Advil and get it ready. Because again, in part 54, we'll have to wake up Rinoa. I'm still going to need my Advil anyway, because if Rinoa doesn't wake up, well, that's going to be a headache, because chances are I may have been responsible for not guarding her. Maybe, just maybe. Who knows? See you guys next time, and peace out. Rinoa sucks.